Hello and welcome back to the Bad Back Gardener. My name's Kevin. Today for the video I thought I'd show you how I keep track of my garden, and this is my garden book. Not really a journal, it's just a place that I don't keep track of every day, every plant to see how it worked out or anything like that. It's more of keeping track of where I plant stuff in the garden, and also what I've ordered from different companies, and how many seeds I plant of each kind, how many flats I do. So we'll take a look at that here. But we'll start out with the drawings I make. This is this year's garden, or it's supposed to be this year's garden. I'm in the middle of expanding my garden some, so this is what I'm projecting the garden to look like when I'm done, how many raised beds I'll have, what all I can plant in. But so I've made a couple of copies of it here, and what I'll do is I'll fill it up by hand. And to keep a copy outside, also keep a copy inside. But I'll fill it up by hand, then at the end, when I'm all done and got everything planted, I'll take it and color it in on the computer so it looks a little bit better. And but that's how I keep track, so I know what to plant, what I planted where, and then the next year I don't duplicate. I try to rotate my crops so I don't keep down on diseases and stuff. So so I do it by doing that. As you can see, you got some copies in here. And this is last year's garden. I'll do some close-ups on these, like I said. And so that was last year's garden. I only had 6 raised beds in my new garden. I'm in the process of moving from an old garden area of my property to a new garden, and I'm building all the raised beds, which will cover. I'll show you what I'm doing in a later video for that. But that was last year's garden. I just had 6 of them in the new garden. These are actually some of the pictures I've had from gardens past that I still have in the book here, from different houses I've lived in, and some from here too. Some of the older gardens from here. So, and then back here, this is where I keep track of what I plant and how many flats I plant, how many seeds I grow in each flat, and what kind I grow in each flat. These ones are clean, handwritten back from 2005 and on here. I think I've thrown away some of the old ones, but that goes through 2012. And then I started from there. I created a form on the computer. This is 2013. I planted actually 8 flats, or 9 flats. I grew some flowers and stuff. That was 9 flats that year. It was 2014. I went down to 8 flats. I may have grown another flat because sometimes I'll plant them more in mid-season, and I'm not going back good at going back and writing them in once the main seeds have been planted. So sometimes I'll throw another flat together later on in the summer. That was 2014. 2015 I went down to 7 flats. I didn't plant very many flowers. Some of the last couple of years I've been trying to tackle some projects around the house that I haven't had a whole lot of time or the places to put the flowers that I want to as much. So I didn't plant as many flowers. Vegetables I always plant. I always plant my probably at least 3 flats of peppers and at least 4 flats of tomatoes, depending on how many's in the flat and what kind of peat pots I use or other stuff I use. This was last year actually, and this was the first year I used the toilet paper roll method in one of my flats. That was it. I planted 40 4th of Julys, 10 Park Whoppers, and 10 Big Beef in it last year. And then, like in this flat here, I had 12 Big Beef and 20 Fantastic. And there's 4 flats of tomatoes, and then I did 3 flats of my peppers. So I planted 7 flats last year. Again, I probably planted a different one a little later on, but I didn't write it in. But and then this is this year, so I'm planting 7 flats so far. This year, I'm hoping to plant some flowers this year and get some flats of flowers in. But this is this year's. Three flats of peppers I planted. This is the toilet paper flat of tomatoes I planted on video number 2, and I planted the 44th of July's on a different flat. And then I still have, which I'll probably get in this week, is a flat and 2 more flats of tomatoes yet to put in with some different kinds of those in there. But so that's kind of how I keep track of what I plant in each flat. And back here, this is where I keep track of what companies I order from and what I order from each company for every year, so I can have that to refer back to. This was 2015. I only ordered off of 3 companies. In 2016, I ordered off of 4 companies, and this seems to be increasing as I seem to be ordering from more and more companies. So this was 4, and this year I ordered off of 5 different companies. And it all depends. It changes every year what I order from what, but this kind of helps me keep track, so I know if I wasn't happy with some seeds from one company as opposed to another, but I know where I ordered. It makes it faster next year when I go to sit down in winter time and order all my seeds in. I can kind of refer back to it, and if there's something that stands out, then I know to change it, but if not, it's probably going to get ordered from the same company. So, but that's about it for the book. Nothing too fancy, nothing too exciting, but it's just how I do it. Kind of keep track. Some people do it a little bit more detailed than that, but that's basically what I'm doing. Like I said, I'll have some close-ups of these, just to kind of give you an idea of what they look like. But that's about it for this video. The weather outside right now is not very nice, so doing some stuff what I can inside until the weather breaks. We're getting a late winter push here in the middle of March, so I'm hoping it clears back up and gets warm again. But that's about it for today. And if your back ain't hurting, you ain't working.